On this quiet night, let yourself pause and step gently into a slower rhythm where every breath becomes deeper and the noise of the day fades softly away. Imagine the stillness of the earth beneath you, steady and patient, holding every story it has ever told. The sky above is calm, the stars drift in silence, and the air feels like a soft reminder that you can release what no longer serves you. With each inhale, the world opens. With each exhale, the weight of worry grows lighter. Here, time is no longer hurried. Here the earth reveals itself in rhythms and wonders that ask nothing of you but your presence. As you listen, allow your thoughts to quiet, allow your body to rest, and join this journey through the most relaxing facts about our home planet. Welcome to Cosmic Sleep Science, a place where Earth becomes your guide into peace. And just before we begin, if these calm, curious explorations help you unwind or give you a quiet way to end your day, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1. Earth's Rhythms. The Earth spins gently on its axis, turning without pause, carrying oceans, forests, and cities through a timeless rhythm. As sunlight falls on one side, shadows deepen on the other, and this endless movement gives birth to the pattern of day and night. What seems ordinary is in truth a cosmic dance, delicate yet powerful. Every living being is touched by it. Every moment is guided by this silent wheel. Animals stir with the rising sun. Flowers open to the morning sky, and humans awaken with renewed energy. When evening comes, the body begins to rest, following signals written by light itself. Our inner systems listen, adjusting hormones and cycles with each passing hour. Natural light keeps us steady, shaping emotions, focus, and sleep. Without this balance, life would lose its gentle harmony. The rotation of the Earth is not only motion, it is the breath of our planet. Birds cross continents guided by the glow of the sun, their wings following invisible paths drawn in the sky. Sunflowers turn slowly, tracing the journey of light across the horizon, their faces always reaching toward warmth. These small wonders reveal how deeply life depends on the daily rhythm. Scientists call it the circadian rhythm, an inner clock tuned to the cycle of light and dark. Every creature holds this silent measure within, from the smallest insect to the human heart. It is not simply habit, it is nature inscribed in time. To feel this rhythm is to feel the earth itself, steady and calm. When we pause and listen, we discover we are moving together with the world around us. When the natural rhythm falls out of balance, the body begins to struggle. Sleep grows shallow. Moods shift without warning. Energy feels thin and scattered. A life disconnected from sunlight and darkness loses its gentle anchor. Yet harmony is always possible. To walk outside, to greet the morning, to let evening settle quietly. These simple acts restore balance. They remind us that our bodies are shaped for the earth, not for constant noise and light. To live near nature is to remember what the body already knows. Peace comes when we return to the rhythm that has always held us. Daylight carries energy like a river, flowing into the body, awakening cells and senses. As morning arrives, light enters the eyes, stirring signals that lift mood and sharpen focus. The body produces serotonin, a chemical that steadies emotion and inspires activity. When darkness returns, another messenger begins its work. Melatonin rises, calming thought, slowing the mind, guiding it toward rest. This cycle is simple yet profound, linking our deepest feelings to the sky above. Light and shadow are not only external conditions, they are part of us. Without their rhythm, our lives would lose direction. The balance of brightness and night shapes each breath we take, reminding us that rest and activity are two halves of the same circle. Night brings its own kind of life. Some animals wait for darkness to step into the world, their eyes tuned to faint light, their bodies alive with hidden strength. Flowers stir at dawn, opening as if in silent praise, then close again when the sun fades. Nature bends and flows with the presence or absence of light. At the edges of the earth, near the poles, this balance shifts dramatically. There are months when the sun never sets, casting endless day, and months when it never rises, wrapping land in unbroken night. People living in these regions shape unique rhythms, adapting to the extremes of the sky. These examples show how powerful light truly is. It guides not only growth and rest, but also the very structure of daily life across the planet. Artificial light has softened the darkness, yet it also carries hidden cost. Too much brightness at night unsettles the inner clock, confusing signals of wake and rest. The result is often fatigue, stress, or illness that grows slowly and quietly. To step away from constant glow is to protect health and peace. When we honor natural light, rising with the sun, resting with the night, we find ease. The lesson is simple but timeless. A slower rhythm, shaped by the turning sky, offers balance. To follow it is to live in harmony with both body and earth. The earth does not stand straight as it turns. It leans gently at an angle of 23.5 degrees. And this tilt is what creates the seasons. As the planet orbits the sun, light strikes the hemispheres differently, and temperature shifts like a tide through the year. In summer, warmth pours down, days stretch long, and life grows quickly. In winter, light fades, nights lengthen, and the air grows sharp and still. These changes shape every corner of nature. Trees shed leaves to rest. Animals change coats or behaviors, and humans adjust their routines. The rhythm of seasons is not only external, it is written inside us, guiding harvests, celebrations, and traditions. It tells us when to plant, when to gather, when to pause, when to dream. The tilt of the earth is small, yet it creates the great cycle that holds life in balance. Even in the stillness of winter, life finds its way. Some plants bloom against the snow, delicate frost flowers rising through the cold, carrying fragile beauty where little seems possible. Across the world, the seasons reveal their wonders in very different forms. In Japan, spring arrives with cherry blossoms, soft petals falling like gentle snow, a celebration of renewal. In the Sahara, summer blazes with unyielding heat, shaping life that endures in sand and shadow. In Scandinavia, winter deepens into silence, long nights stretching across frozen land. Yet communities find warmth in fire and tradition. Each season tells a different story. Each place sings its own verse of the earth's song. What may appear simple is filled with surprise, with beauty that endures in hardship. To follow the seasons is to witness the endless creativity of nature, unfolding quietly yet powerfully in every corner of the planet. If the tilt of the earth were different, the seasons would change beyond recognition. A greater angle might bring harsher winters, fiercer summers, and shorter transitions. A smaller angle could flatten the rhythm, softening differences until spring and autumn nearly disappear. The balance we know today is fragile, shaped by chance yet essential for life. To live with the seasons is to live with patience. Spring calls us to awaken. Summer invites us to expand. Autumn teaches release. Winter whispers rest. When we move in step with these cycles, our lives gain depth and calm. The lesson is not speed, but harmony. To slow down with the turning earth is to rediscover peace in every passing season. Animals have always moved in harmony with the turning of the year. Birds fly across continents when cold approaches, their wings chasing warmth and food. Bears withdraw into caves, resting in long hibernation until spring calls them back to life. Fish travel upstream to spawn, timing their journeys with water levels shaped by rain and melting snow. Insects rise in swarms during warm months, then fade when frost arrives. Each life carries a rhythm set by the cycle of the earth, a pattern as ancient as the sky itself. These seasonal movements are not only survival, they are expressions of trust in the turning world. The earth tilts, light shifts, and creatures answer, their lives woven into the fabric of time. Yet not all animals follow the expected path. Some flowers bloom out of season, their colors startling against winter fields. Certain birds linger when they should migrate, adjusting to shifting climates in ways that puzzle researchers. There are insects that awaken early, butterflies dancing before warmth has fully returned, risking their fragile wings. Such patterns remind us that nature holds mysteries beyond prediction. Even as science maps cycles and rhythms, surprises remain. Soft and quiet, hidden in plain sight, the slow rhythm of life is never fully fixed. It bends, it adapts, it resists. To observe these exceptions is to feel wonder, to see that the earth is alive, not only with order, but with freedom. Each anomaly is a gentle reminder that balance is never rigid. It breathes like the seasons themselves. If the seasons shifted more quickly, animals would face new trials. Migration might fail. Hibernation might shorten. Life would scramble to keep pace. Yet adaptation is part of nature's strength. Creatures change. Humans, too, must change. Learning flexibility in the face of shifting rhythms. To watch the seasons is to learn resilience. To see that nothing holds still. In our own lives, we can take this lesson quietly, to move with the flow. To bend when change arrives is to live well. The rhythm of the earth is also the rhythm of survival, and it teaches us how to endure. The moon pulls gently on the oceans, lifting water as the earth turns, shaping tides that rise and fall in endless rhythm. High tide comes as the sea swells toward the shore. Low tide follows as the water retreats, leaving sand and rock exposed. This breathing of the ocean touches every life that depends on the coast. Crabs scuttle between pools. Shells glisten in the sun, and fish move with the shifting edge of water. For humans, tides guide boats, fishing, and ancient calendars. The connection is steady, written in the pull of gravity itself. Each wave that reaches the shore is part of a cycle as old as the moon. To watch the sea rise and fall is to witness the earth answering the sky. The tide carries secrets that reveal themselves in quiet and sudden ways. During powerful surges, rare creatures sometimes appear, carried inland by the force of water. On distant shores, legends were born from these mysteries, stories of sea spirits and hidden light. Science, too, has traced their patterns. The Bay of Fundy in Canada holds the highest tides on Earth, waters climbing and falling with breathtaking power, shaping cliffs and valleys over ages. In the Maldives, islands seem to breathe with the sea, shrinking and expanding as tides sweep across white sand. Everywhere, the ocean listens to the moon, responding with movements both fierce and delicate. To stand by the shore is to feel this connection, to sense a dance that is quiet yet vast. The moon pulls, the earth responds, and the ocean rises, a reminder of how deeply nature is bound together. If the moon drifted farther from the earth, the tides would weaken, shores would change, life in tidal pools might vanish, and species that depend on this rhythm would struggle. The balance we know is fragile, sustained by distance and gravity. To reflect on this is to see how finely tuned the earth is, how even the ocean breathes with the sky. For us, the lesson is simple: to slow down, to listen to the waves, to let their rise and fall guide our hearts. Life finds calm in rhythm, just as the sea finds calm in returning. When we live by the ocean's measure, we rediscover the quiet truth that all things move in cycles, steady and eternal. The breath of earth is never silent. It moves through the winds, the tides, and the gentle turning of days and nights. If you wish to stay close to this rhythm, let your path return to cosmic sleep science. Subscribe and let each moment guide you deeper into calm. Chapter 2. The Himalayas stand tall, with snow-covered peaks stretching across thousands of kilometers. They are the highest mountains on Earth, and they shape the skyline of Asia with a power that feels eternal. Formed by the collision of the Indian Plate and the Eurasian Plate, the crust of the Earth was pushed upward, creating ridges that touched the sky. The process continues slowly with each passing year as the mountains rise a little higher. These peaks are more than rock and ice. They are a great wall that influences the climate of Asia. They block cold winds from the north and guide the monsoon rains that feed rivers and valleys. The Himalayas shape ecosystems from dense forests to high-altitude grasslands. Life around them has adapted to the thin air and harsh cold. They are both barrier and protector, both mystery and foundation of the lands below. The mountains may seem still, but they are moving slowly each year. Some peaks shift by a few centimeters, a reminder that the earth beneath is alive. Lakes appear on their slopes, filled with melted ice, then vanish without warning, leaving dry basins behind. Glaciers sometimes crack and fall in unexpected seasons. Snow descends heavy in summer storms, surprising even local herders. Animals, once rare, now walk in unusual places, as if following changes unseen. Scientists climb to measure the air and watch the shifting lines of rock and ice. Their instruments record vibrations and movements that speak of restless energy under the surface. The mountains hold secrets in stone and snow. Each change brings new questions that are not easily answered. The Himalayas remain a place of wonder where certainty fades and mystery grows. If the Himalayas were to collapse or change their shape, the entire climate of Asia would shift. Rivers fed by melting snow could dry or flood. Valleys below would face hunger or abundance depending on the flow. Forests and fields would vanish or grow in strange patterns. The mountains hold the rhythm of life for millions. They stand like guardians of the land. To look at them is to see patience carved in stone. They remind us that strength comes not from rushing, but from enduring. Just as the peaks rise slowly, we too can learn to walk in harmony with time. The Himalayas teach stillness and persistence in the face of change. Valleys are born where rivers cut through rock, or where tectonic movements split the land. Over thousands of years, water shapes stone into deep corridors. Light enters slowly from above, painting shadows on the walls. The air feels cooler and quiet. Plants find niches in cracks and along riverbanks. Valleys hold both silence and motion, both still rock and flowing water. They stretch across continents, forming landscapes of calm beauty. Some valleys are narrow and steep, others wide and gentle. They tell a story of patience written by wind and water. To stand inside is to feel the passage of ages pressing softly around you. The valley speaks without words of time flowing as gently as the river at its base. Some valleys shelter unique ecosystems where rare plants bloom and hidden animals survive. Their depth protects the Kim from harsh winds and changing climates above. Scientists discover species found nowhere else. Each discovery adds to the sense of wonder. The Grand Canyon in America reveals layers of stone like pages of Earth's diary. The Kali Gandaki in Nepal cuts deep through the Himalayas, with cliffs rising like walls of another world. To walk these valleys is to step into mystery. Shapes of rock carved by rivers look like sculptures placed by unseen hands. Echoes bounce from wall to wall, making sound feel alive. Valleys hold secrets in silence. They remain as reminders that Earth is always creating places where beauty and strangeness live together. If erosion changes its pace, valleys could widen or vanish. Rivers may carve deeper or shift their course, leaving the land altered forever. What seems eternal is slowly remade by water. The valley teaches patience and surrender. It shows how even soft streams shape hard stone with time. Life also requires such gentleness. We grow not in haste, but in steady rhythm. Valleys whisper that silence has its own strength. Just as the river forms its path, we too can move through life with quiet persistence. The valley is not only a landscape, but also a lesson carved slowly by the flow of time. Rivers begin with rain falling on mountains, snow melting in spring, or water rising from underground springs. They gather strength as streams join together and carve paths across the land. Rivers bend and curve through soil and stone. They carry silt that feeds farmlands. They give water to plants and animals. Life along their banks is rich with activity. Birds nest in reeds. Fish move with the currents. Human settlements thrive near rivers for food and travel. Rivers connect mountains to seas and link distant regions together. They are lifelines flowing across continents. Each river tells a story of movement and renewal. The river does not stop. It carries with it both the past in its sediments and the future in its endless flow. Rivers sometimes change their course with surprising force. A bend may cut through and leave behind an island. A flood may create a new waterfall. These shifts happen quietly, but their impact lasts for centuries. The Amazon winds through the forest like a silver thread, carrying countless species in its waters. The Nile has fed civilizations for thousands of years, and yet it too has shifted its channels. The Mekong in Asia brings both life and danger with its floods. Scientists study how currents move sand and stone to understand these changes, yet rivers still surprise them. They reveal hidden caves or swallow land into their depths. Each river is a mystery in motion. It shows how Earth is never still, always shaping and reshaping itself. If rivers were forced to change by sudden events, entire communities would face transformation. Villages could vanish, farmlands could dry, forests could die or flourish. Rivers carry the rhythm of life, and when they shift, the rhythm changes for all. To watch a river is to see patience in motion. Its flow is soft yet strong. It carves land not with violence, but with persistence. The river invites us to live in the same way, move with steadiness, accept turns, and trust the path as it unfolds. Just as rivers reach the sea, we too are carried toward our own horizon. The lesson is to flow gently, yet firmly, through time. Deserts are formed where rainfall is rare, and winds strip away the soil, leaving only rock and sand. Sunlight falls without mercy during the day, and the air cools sharply at night. Sand dunes rise and fall like frozen waves. Their shapes shift under the breath of the wind. Light moves across their surface with the passing hours, painting gold at dawn and red at sunset. Despite the harshness, life survives in quiet ways. Small plants store water in roots. Animals move by night to escape the heat. The desert looks empty, but it holds a rhythm of survival. It is a place shaped by patience where silence stretches far beyond the horizon. Sand dunes are never still. They creep forward each year by the force of the wind. Some move only a few meters. Others shift entire landscapes. Patterns form on their surface that look like waves or calligraphy written by air. In the Sahara, the dunes seem endless, rolling beyond sight. The Atacama in South America is one of the driest places on Earth. Yet strange flowers bloom suddenly after rare rains. The Gobi holds both burning summers and frozen winters, a land of extremes. Each desert is silent yet full of mystery. Travelers speak of sounds from dunes, a deep hum that rises without cause. Scientists call it singing sand. The desert reminds us that what seems still is alive with unseen motion. What seems empty is filled with hidden wonders. If the climate changes, deserts may expand or shrink. New life may vanish, and other forms may adapt. Animals may travel farther to find water. Plants may change their cycles to survive in harsher air. The desert is not only a place, but also a lesson. It teaches endurance and quiet strength. To walk on its sand is to learn patience. Each grain has been shaped by time beyond measure. The desert shows us that stillness is not emptiness, but resilience. In its silence, we find a rhythm that asks us to slow down and move gently with the earth. Plains are shaped by rivers that carry silt and lay it down gently over time. When floods recede, the land is left rich with soil that welcomes seeds. Crops grow easily here. Forests and grasses spread widely. Plains are the open heart of continents. They stretch broad and level under wide skies. Wind moves freely. Rain comes often enough to nourish life. Farmers have lived on plains for thousands of years. They build homes and villages near rivers. The plain is both simple and abundant. It is nature's gift of balance, formed slowly by water, carrying the memory of mountains and delivering it to open land. Some plains hold lakes that appear and disappear depending on the season. They are homes for countless birds and fish. Herds of animals move across plains, following grasses that grow after rain. In the Red River Delta of Vietnam, the soil carries nutrients from mountains far away, feeding rice fields that stretch like green carpets. In the Mississippi Delta of America, the river spreads into many channels, creating swamps and wetlands filled with life. Each plain has its own rhythm. Scientists discover that sediments tell the story of floods long past. Fossils rest in the soil, silent evidence of creatures once alive. The plain seems simple, but it holds secrets written in layers of earth. To walk across it is to move over chapters of history written in soil. If rivers shift their path, the plains will change. Fertile soil may dry. Forests and fields may fade. New wetlands may appear. Human life has always been tied to these changes. The plain teaches us to respect the flow of water and the patience of the earth. It is like a vast carpet spread by time. It shows that abundance comes not from speed, but from cycles repeated again and again. The plain invites us to walk slowly, to breathe deeply, and to remember that balance is the root of life. Beaches and sandbars are formed by the meeting of land and sea. Waves wash grains from cliffs and rivers and spread them along the shore. Tides push and pull, shaping new lines each day. Winds smooth the surface until the sand shines. To walk on the coast is to hear rhythm in every step. Waves arrive steady as breath. Foam spreads like lace, then retreats. The sand is soft, yet ancient, a mixture of minerals carried for ages. Coasts are borders, but also bridges, where sea life and land life touch. They change constantly, yet remain timeless, holding both motion and calm. Some beaches shift their shape in ways hard to predict. Storms may carve new inlets. Sandbars may rise from the sea, then vanish. In Namibia, the desert meets the ocean, dunes sliding directly into waves. In Australia, the great sandy beaches stretch endless under blue sky. Scientists study how currents move sand, yet surprises remain. Ghost crabs build tunnels that collapse and reform. Sea turtles return each year to the same shore without fail, guided by memory and instinct. The coast is alive with quiet mysteries. It is not fixed, but breathing with the ocean. Each change reminds us that Earth is always remaking its edges. If tides grow stronger or storms more fierce, beaches may erode away. Creatures that depend on them would lose their shelter. Yet even in loss, there is renewal. New shores may rise. The coast teaches us to live with change. Its waves show us that endings flow into beginnings. Sand that drifts away may return in another form. The lesson is to walk with gentleness along the edge of time. The coast asks us to feel the rhythm of waves and find peace in their endless return. A lake rests quietly on the land, formed by melting glaciers, sinking mountains, or the slow deposit of rivers. Its surface reflects the sky, soft and calm. Yet beneath the water, life stirs in many layers. Lakes provide drinking water, feed rivers, and hold countless species that depend on their depths. The balance between inflow and outflow shapes their form, sometimes deep and narrow, sometimes wide and shallow. As the seasons pass, water levels rise and fall, marking the rhythm of time itself. A lake is not only a container of water, it is also a cradle of ecosystems, a place where birds rest, fish grow, and plants gather silently at the edges. Some lakes reveal mysteries that stir curiosity and wonder. Their waters shift in colors, green in spring, deep blue in summer, sometimes crimson or pink in rare places. In Lake Hillier of Australia, the surface glows pink, like a dream painted across the horizon. In Lake Baikal of Russia, the ice cracks with sharp lines, forming patterns as if drawn by unseen hands. Life in these lakes can also be strange. Species found nowhere else on Earth. Creatures shaped by isolation and time. Stories tell of lakes that rise and vanish in a single season, leaving behind dry ground or sudden wetlands. These changes remind us that still waters may hold secrets beyond sight. A lake is a mirror, yet also a gate, opening into unknown worlds beneath its calm surface. If one day a lake dries, the lives that depend on it must find another way. Fish cannot swim on empty ground, plants cannot root in dust, and people must search for water elsewhere. Such a vision makes us pause, reminding us how fragile balance can be. A lake stands as a symbol of peace, its ripples like the breath of the earth itself. To watch it in silence is to hear the soft voice of nature, teaching us to slow down, to rest, and to value what sustains us. The lesson is simple, yet deep. Water is life, and life flows like a gentle wave. The sea stretches across the planet, covering more than 70% of the Earth. Its waters hold the power to shape climate, carrying heat and coolness across great distances. Currents move like vast rivers within the ocean, guiding storms, feeding winds, and nurturing life. Tiny plankton drift in the light, creating oxygen that fills the air we breathe. Large fish swim in endless patterns, following invisible lines of temperature and flow. The sea absorbs the rhythm of the sun and moon, rising and falling with the tides. Each wave is a breath, each swell a heartbeat, connecting distant coasts into one vast system. Without the sea, the earth would fall silent, its climate unstable, its life fragile. To stand before the ocean is to witness the pulse of the planet, yet beneath the surface, the ocean hides mysteries deeper than imagination. Whirlpools spin in sudden circles, their power unseen until they pull water into spirals. The Gulf Stream flows with quiet strength, warming Europe, shaping storms, guiding ships. In the Gulf of Mexico, eddies drift like great wheels, turning silently for months. Some places reveal glowing waves, bioluminescent light shimmering at night, like stars fallen into water. Stories speak of lost lands, of creatures unseen, of voices echoing in the depths. Scientists send machines down, yet only a fraction of the deep is known. The ocean remains a vast enigma, its secrets guarded by pressure, darkness, and time. To gaze upon its horizon is to sense both beauty and mystery, calm and danger. It is a teacher of humility, reminding us that not all can be known. If one day the currents shift, storms may grow fierce, and climates may change beyond recognition. The balance of seasons would falter, harvests may fail, and life along the shores would tremble. This vision teaches us the delicate harmony that sustains the earth. The ocean is not only water, it is memory, depth, and breath. Its tides remind us of time itself. Its waves whisper of patience and strength. To sit by the sea is to feel the world's rhythm flowing through our own. It asks us to listen, to rest, to respect the vastness that gives us life. Beneath warm and shallow seas, coral reefs grow like living gardens. They form from calcium left by tiny creatures, each building upon the remains of the last. Sunlight filters through clear waters, feeding algae that share life with coral. Together, they create structures that shelter fish, crabs, and countless species. Bright colors spread across the reef, a mosaic of forms that shift and shimmer. For thousands of years, these reefs have shaped coasts, breaking waves and protecting shores. They are among the richest ecosystems on Earth. Yet, they exist only where conditions are balanced, where warmth clarity, and stillness meet. A reef is fragile, yet in its fragility lies a strength that sustains life. Some coral reefs reveal wonders that seem impossible. After storms, they appear broken, yet slowly yield. Silently, they heal themselves. New branches grow where old ones shattered. Life returns as if guided by unseen hands. In the Great Barrier Reef of Australia, stretches of coral glow with colors like flames, a shifting display of beauty and sorrow. In the Maldives, small reefs rise and fall with the tides, hosting fish that change colors with the sun. Divers tell of moments when reefs hum faintly, a vibration carried through the water, as if the reef itself were breathing. Scientists still seek to understand how these living structures recover, adapt, and endure. Their resilience is both mystery and lesson, showing us that even in fragility, there is hidden strength. If the sea grows too warm, corals bleach and fade, losing their color and life. The fish that depend on them scatter. The reefs fall silent, and the balance of oceans weakens. Such a future warns us of the ties between climate and survival. Yet it also teaches us to care, to act, to guard what is precious. A reef is not only stone, it is memory, community, and song. To see it is to see the beauty of cooperation, countless lives woven together. In its stillness, the reef whispers, urging us to live with care, to honor the fragile web that holds the earth. The surface of earth is never still. Mountains rise, rivers wander, forests breathe, and deserts shift in silence. If you wish to travel through these endless transformations, subscribe to Cosmic Sleep Science and let the journey unfold slowly before your eyes. Chapter 3: Wondrous Creatures of Earth. Under the microscope, the tardigrade appears like a tiny, lumbering bear, moving slowly through a drop of water. It looks fragile, yet it holds a secret strength that few creatures on Earth can rival. This minute being survives where almost all others fail. In the frozen wastelands, it curls into a dormant state and waits for warmth. In blistering heat, it withdraws into itself and resists the fire. In the crushing pressure of the ocean floor, it endures without breaking. Even in the void of space, it has floated silent yet alive. Scientists call this strange ability cryptobiosis, a state where the body dries almost completely and life pauses without ending. Later, with a touch of moisture, the creature revives and continues as if nothing had happened. The tardigrade is no larger than the tip of a needle, yet its resilience is immense. It embodies the paradox of fragility and invincibility woven together. Each movement is slow, deliberate, reminding us that power is not always forceful. Sometimes it is the art of waiting and enduring. The mystery of the tardigrade deepens when experiments reach beyond Earth. Scientists sent them into the vacuum of space where radiation strikes mercilessly and temperature swings are vast. Still, they survived. And upon return, many revived and moved again. Few organisms can even approach such endurance. Not bacteria sealed in ice for centuries, nor spores lying dormant in rock. The tardigrade remains unmatched in its quiet persistence. In laboratories, researchers test their limits by freezing them to near absolute zero, by heating them close to boiling, by exposing them to chemicals, and time and again the tardigrade finds a way to endure. This ability is not brute resistance, but rather the art of suspension. The creature slows everything down until life itself seems to pause, waiting for the world to become kind again. When water returns, when conditions soften, the tiny bear wakes and begins walking with calm steps, as if centuries of silence had been only a brief rest. Compared to the grand creatures of Earth, it may appear insignificant. Yet the tardigrade proves that scale is not a measure of power. The smallest body can hold the greatest mystery. Listening to these stories of survival, one feels drawn into a slow rhythm, as if watching a hidden world where life persists beyond reason. The tardigrade becomes less a specimen and more a symbol, a whisper of endurance that drifts through the imagination and settles quietly in the heart. What could humanity learn if it looked to the tardigrade as a guide? Perhaps we would see that survival is not only about strength, but also about stillness, about knowing when to retreat and when to wait. The tardigrade does not fight the impossible. It accepts the hostile world and rests within itself until the danger passes. From this simple rhythm, we can draw a philosophy that even the smallest being carries a vast wisdom, that life has many ways of continuing. In the silence of cryptobiosis, there is patience. In the quiet revival, there is hope. Between stars and oceans, there will always be creatures who endure unseen, teaching us that existence is larger than our struggles. Amid the immensity of the universe, the tardigrade waits, a silent traveler who reminds us that sometimes to live is to rest and to rise again when the time is right. Far beneath the surface, where sunlight never reaches the deep sea, fish moves through darkness. It lives under pressure hundreds of times greater than that of the surface, a weight that would crush almost any living body. In this silent world, the water is cold and still. Light is scarce, and survival is a delicate balance. To endure these conditions, the fish has evolved strange forms. Its eyes grow wide or glow with faint light. Its body soft, yet strong enough to withstand the depths. Its organs adjusted to scarcity. Each movement is slow, as if the ocean itself holds the creature in a careful embrace, guiding it through the endless night. The physiology of such beings tells a story of adaptation beyond imagination. Nature has shaped them into travelers of the abyss, living proof that life bends but does not break even under impossible pressure. They drift, they hunt, they continue in a place where silence is eternal. Their presence, a quiet wonder that science still struggles to fully explain. Yet, the mystery of these creatures deepens when we observe their natural glow. Many deep-sea fish carry lanterns within their bodies, producing light through bioluminescence, turning the darkness into a field of stars. These lights can lure prey, attract mates, or confuse predators. They flicker like whispers of fire beneath the ocean roof. Explorers who descend into the Mariana Trench or other great rifts tell of sudden apparitions, shapes glowing in patterns unseen on the surface, bodies twisting with strange elegance as they vanish again into the void. To witness such scenes is to watch the sea itself breathe in colors, a reminder that even in the deepest silence, beauty persists. These stories carry both science and poetry, blending evidence with wonder, allowing us to imagine a realm where life dances unseen beneath the crushing weight of the world above. If creatures like these exist on Earth in such extreme depths, could similar beings wait beneath the ice of distant moons or in the oceans of other worlds? Perhaps the lesson they offer us is clear. To survive is to adapt without resistance, to glow softly in the dark, to move with patience The deep sea fish does not complain about its weight of existence. It simply learns to be, to drift, to endure. In their quiet endurance, we may glimpse a reflection of our own path, that life is not always about striving upward, but about finding harmony even in darkness. These silent dwellers of the abyss remind us that patience and subtlety may be as strong as any force, and that the unknown is not to be feared, but listened to with humility. On the mountains, where winds cut through stone, the bristlecone pine stands. Older than most civilizations, rooted for more than 5,000 years, its body grows slowly. Each ring a story of drought and storm. Each twist of bark a memory of endurance. Unlike quick-growing plants, it embraces patience. Its wood, dense and resistant, its needles lasting for decades. The tree survives where soil is poor and water scarce, turning hardship into quiet strength. When we study its form, we see how structure and physiology align with resilience. Its tissues designed to hold moisture, its cells resistant to decay. In its silence, the bristlecone pine tells a story of longevity beyond measure, standing as a monument of time itself, a living witness to the rise and fall of countless generations. The mystery deepens when we compare the bristlecone pine with other ancient trees across the world. Some grow on the frozen slopes of Siberia, others on the quiet lands of Iceland, still others in the wide reaches of North America. Each carries centuries within its form, its roots stretching through eras that humans only record in fragile books. Scientists wonder how such beings persist, how they resist disease, how they remain vital when most plants fade after only decades. Perhaps the secret lies in the slow rhythm of growth, in the careful balance between life and dormancy, in the silent pact between tree and earth. These trees surpass human history. They began before our oldest myths and still stand after empires vanish, their bodies scarred yet alive. To walk among them is to feel the hush of time itself, the air heavy with patience, the ground rich with unspoken memory. The bristlecone pine, the Baikal pine, the great oaks and yews. Each whispers a lesson that no clock can measure, reminding us that age can be not only decay, but also grace. But what if these trees one day disappeared? What would the earth lose if such living monuments were gone? Perhaps entire ecosystems would falter, for birds and insects rely on them. For soil depends on their roots. For climate, they hold carbon quietly through centuries. Yet beyond the physical loss, there is another emptiness. The silence of voices that have spoken only in growth and endurance. A silence that would make our world feel younger and less wise. The old trees are more than wood and leaves. They are guardians of memory, patient teachers of stillness. They remind us that life need not be hurried, that time is not an enemy, but a companion. Their endurance teaches humility. Their silence teaches calm. Their vast age teaches perspective. Standing before them, one cannot help but feel small, yet comforted. For in their presence, human years shrink, but human wonder grows. The bristlecone pine is not only a tree, it is a living prayer of endurance, a symbol that life can be both fragile and eternal. Through them, we learn to wait, to endure, to be at peace with the slow unfolding of existence, to find beauty not in haste, but in lasting presence. Ants are tiny, yet their societies are vast, hidden cities beneath the soil. Their colonies stretch through tunnels, chambers, and hidden roads, carefully shaped over time. Each ant plays a role, some gathering food, some caring for young, others defending the nest. They move with a rhythm that seems choreographed, yet no single leader directs them. Their communication is carried by pheromones, invisible trails laid down for others to follow. One ant discovers food, another picks up the signal. Soon, a river of bodies flows with astonishing order. What appears as chaos becomes harmony, a world of quiet discipline. Ants remind us that even without speech or command, connection can guide an entire community into thriving life. There are moments when ant colonies display mysteries that leave science humbled. Some nests vanish from the surface, the activity fading as if the city beneath had never been alive. Later, another nest will appear, sometimes near the same ground, sometimes in a place far away. How they choose to disappear and return remains an unanswered puzzle. Their tunnels are complex networks, interwoven like the veins of a leaf, adapting to danger and shifting landscapes. When compared to bees and their honeycombs, or termites and their tall mounds, ants reveal another vision of collective wisdom. Each structure, though different in form, holds the same secret of natural intelligence. In these designs, we see echoes of human cities, roads that intersect, buildings that rise, and cooperation that makes survival possible. Nature whispers in small voices, yet the lesson is immense. If this fragile balance within the colony were to break, the harmony would unravel. A nest without cooperation cannot endure. Food will not be found. Young will not be raised, and protection will fail. The strength of ants lies not in the single insect, but in the unseen threads binding them together. This truth reflects upon our own lives, for a community is woven by the will to share, to help, and to move as one. Ants, in their silence, show us a way to endure hardship and create resilience. They teach that togetherness is not only survival, but also meaning. To live connected is to carry each other forward, gently, like countless small steps forming a single path. The butterfly begins as an egg laid on a leaf, fragile and still. From it hatches a caterpillar, hungry and restless, feeding on green veins of plants. Time moves, and it seeks a place of quiet, wrapping itself in the mystery of a chrysalis. Inside the still shell, the body dissolves, reshaping into wings, antennae, and delicate legs. This is metamorphosis, the slow wonder of becoming. When the shell breaks, a butterfly emerges, trembling as it stretches wings painted with light. Air carries it upward, fragile yet free, completing the circle of birth, change, and renewal. The cycle is simple in form, yet profound in meaning. A story written in silence upon every field and garden. Among butterflies, there are journeys so vast that they seem impossible for such delicate wings. Monarch butterflies are the most famous, traveling from the fields of Canada across forests and mountains until they rest in Mexico. This migration covers thousands of kilometers, yet each fragile creature joins the river of wings with purpose. The mystery deepens when we learn that no single butterfly completes the full journey. Generations are born along the way, each taking up the path of their ancestors. Guided by instincts we still do not fully understand, scientists trace their flight, yet questions remain. How do they navigate skies filled with winds, storms, and endless distances? Their path seems carved by memory older than any map. In their wings lies a secret song of direction, an echo of Earth's hidden compass guiding them home. If the rhythm of their cycle were to shift with changing climate, the butterflies would face unknown trials. Their emergence may no longer match the flowers they depend upon, or the winds that carry them across continents. A single change in timing could scatter generations, breaking the chain of survival. Yet even in this fragility, the butterfly offers a lesson. Transformation is not only a phase, but a truth of existence. From stillness comes motion. From loss comes renewal. They remind us that change is not to be feared, for within it hides the strength to begin again. In each wing beat, we see the quiet message that small lives can hold immense power to inspire. Whales are the great travelers of the seas, moving through waters that span entire continents. Each year, they follow invisible paths, journeys that stretch for thousands of kilometers. They dive into the depths where light fades, then rise to the surface where air and sky meet. Their bodies are vast, yet their movements are graceful, carried by currents and tides. Scientists believe they navigate with the Earth's magnetic field, a hidden compass beneath the waves. Their songs echo through water, guiding companions across endless distances. These creatures are not only survivors, but also explorers, tracing lines across the blue planet. The migration of whales is a rhythm of patience and endurance, written in the sea itself. They remind us that even the largest beings move with harmony, following cycles as old as the oceans. Mysteries remain in the journeys of whales, as some venture into seas that were once uncharted. Reports tell of blue whales appearing in waters where their kind had never been seen. Orcas are spotted in remote bays, weaving through passages that defy expectation. Their routes change, sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically, and each shift leaves scientists with questions. What calls them to distant coasts? What guides them into unknown depths? Their presence transforms the sea into a living story, where every wave carries traces of past and future voyages. Across the Pacific Ocean, their movements draw invisible lines, paths shaped by instinct and memory. In the vast expanse of the ocean, the mystery of their direction remains unsolved. To watch a whale breach from the sea is to witness both strength and enigma, a moment of awe beneath the open sky. If the oceans were to change, whales would face choices written in currents and tides. The warming seas and shifting routes may force them into new waters. Testing their resilience, they would adapt slowly, as they always have, moving with patience, yet carrying ancient memory within their songs. Their migrations are reminders that life endures by moving forward, not against, but with the flow of the earth. From them, we learn the value of persistence, of journeys taken without haste. Whales are not rushing to arrive. They are following the rhythm of survival. They embody a lesson of harmony, that even in vast challenges, one can move with grace. They whisper that patience is not weakness, but strength in its truest form. Sea turtles glide through the oceans with a calm that belies their strength. From the moment they hatch, their journey begins across sand and surf. Small bodies pulled toward the sea. Many live for over a century, returning again and again to the shores of their birth. Their shells are shields of survival, their flippers steady oars, carrying them across great distances. They find food in coral reefs, graze on seagrass, and drift along ocean currents. To endure, they must evade predators, yet their slow and steady nature gives them strength. They are wanderers of both time and tide, carrying stories older than any single generation. Each turtle embodies persistence, a life woven into the rhythm of the sea itself. Their journey is a circle, vast and enduring, unbroken through centuries. Yet even the paths of sea turtles hold mysteries. Some migrate along routes long studied and mapped, while others take unexpected journeys. A turtle may swim into currents that lead across the Caribbean, or into the vast Pacific, or deep into the Indian Ocean. Their choices appear as puzzles, leaving scientists to wonder if instinct alone can explain their movements. No two paths are the same, each journey shaped by unseen forces of current, temperature, and magnetic field. In their slow motion across the globe, they reveal the ocean as a living web of shifting threads. The unexpected detours remind us that nature is never fully predictable. The sea holds both memory and change, and the turtle, with its quiet endurance, is the messenger of both. Each migration is both known and unknowable, a secret etched in waves. If the seas were to change more swiftly than before, sea turtles would bear the weight of uncertainty. Rising temperatures may alter the beaches where eggs are laid, shifting the balance of birth between male and female. Ocean currents may turn unfamiliar. Food sources may drift beyond reach. Yet within their long lives, they have endured storms and shifting tides, carrying resilience in their slow strength. Their presence is a reminder to pay at a gentler pace. They teach us that survival is not about haste, but about steadiness. That harmony with nature brings both endurance and peace. Watching a turtle glide through water is like listening to time itself, whispering of patience, quiet persistence, and the gift of living slowly. Every creature carries a quiet wonder, from the smallest wing to the vast song of the seas. All share the story of life. If you long to wander further with them, subscribe to Cosmic Sleep Science and let their gentle presence meet you again each night. Earth's changing landscapes, mysteries beneath Earth. A volcano is like the burning heart of the Earth. Magma rises from deep layers beneath the crust and seeks a way out. When the pressure becomes too strong, it breaks through the surface. This movement is linked with the slow shifting of tectonic plates. Where plates collide or pull apart, magma finds channels and erupts. The process seems violent, but it also builds new land. The soil around volcanoes becomes rich and fertile. Ash and minerals nurture forests and crops for generations. Lava that hardens creates new mountains and islands. The cycle of eruption and renewal is constant, even if it takes centuries to see. Volcanoes release energy that balances the hidden forces of the Earth. Without them, the pressure inside would only grow. In this way, volcanoes are both creators and destroyers, shaping the planet in silence until their next awakening. Some volcanoes remain quiet for hundreds or thousands of years, then suddenly awaken. Their silence hides movements deep underground. Scientists try to read the signals, but many remain uncertain. Vesuvius erupted in Roman times and destroyed Pompeii after centuries of calm. Yellowstone holds an enormous caldera that shows signs of pressure, but no one knows when it may burst. Krakatoa exploded in the 19th century and darkened skies across the world. These events remind us of the mystery in volcanic cycles. Researchers monitor gases rising from cracks. They measure tremors and shifts in the crust. They watch magma chambers with satellites and sensors. Yet predictions are never exact. Each volcano holds secrets about its rhythm. The Earth speaks through them, but not in ways we fully understand. The mystery remains, and so does the question of what lies waiting beneath our feet. If a supervolcano erupted today, the climate could change across the globe. Ash could block sunlight and cool the planet for years. Crops might fail, and species might struggle to survive. Humans would need to adapt quickly to harsh conditions. Yet volcanoes also remind us of something deeper. Their pulse is like the heartbeat of the Earth. They rise and fall in cycles of rest and release. The lesson is patience and humility. We cannot control such immense forces. We can only learn to live with them and respect their hidden strength. Volcanoes teach us that life itself is fragile. Beneath the ground, power is always waiting. We walk gently on a planet that still breathes fire. A sleeping volcano may appear calm, but energy still stirs within. Beneath the surface, magma continues to flow slowly. It moves like a river of fire hidden in the dark. Pressure builds quietly over decades or centuries. Rock layers crack and bend under the strain. The surface shows little sign of the restless core below. Scientists know that no volcano is truly dead. Even after long silence, it may awaken with great force. The Earth does not forget its own pathways. A sleeping volcano is simply resting between breaths. Its dormancy reminds us that time for the Earth is not the same as human time. What seems endless still carries the potential of change. Sometimes, a sleeping volcano wakes in sudden fire. The land shifts and lakes of molten rock appear where none existed before. Lava flows carve new valleys. Ash clouds rise into the sky and spread across continents. In Iceland, volcanoes sleep beneath ice, then erupt to melt rivers and reshape landscapes. In Japan, silent peaks can suddenly roar to life and cover towns with ash. In Hawaii, volcanoes follow a rhythm of rest and flow that locals watch with reverence. Each has its own pattern of sleeping and waking. Scientists compare these cycles, but still cannot predict the moment of return. Instruments detect tremors and heat, but the exact timing is hidden. The mystery of sleep and awakening remains unsolved. Volcanoes remind us that silence is not absence. Energy waits in the deep chambers where magma gathers its strength. If a volcano sleeps for too long, the world around it may forget its danger. People build homes on fertile slopes, and towns grow on ancient ash fields. When the volcano finally wakes, the cost can be heavy. Climate may shift if many eruptions happen at once. Yet there is a lesson in this hidden power. A sleeping volcano is like the quiet strength inside every being. Dormant energy can rise at unexpected times. The Earth shows us that silence is never final. Stillness may hold great force beneath its surface. This truth calls us to respect what we cannot see, to live in awareness of cycles greater than ourselves, to remember that calmness does not erase possibility. Magma is born deep beneath the crust, where heat and pressure are immense. It forms from rocks, melting under temperatures far beyond measure. This molten material gathers in vast chambers under mountains and oceans. It is not still. It moves slowly, like blood, circulating through veins. When pressure builds, magma pushes upward through cracks in the crust. Sometimes it escapes violently in eruptions. Sometimes it cools and solidifies into granite deep underground. Over time, these processes build new mountains and shape continents. Magma carries minerals that feed the surface. It is both the destroyer of old forms and the builder of new ones. The cycle continues unseen, yet always present. Without magma, the Earth would be lifeless rock. With it, the planet remains alive, restless, and ever-changing. Much of the world beneath remains hidden from human eyes. Some magma chambers are deeper than any drill can reach. Scientists rely on waves from earthquakes to imagine their shape. These hidden layers sometimes reveal strange signals. Giant bubbles of gas may rise inside them. Fossils of ancient creatures are sometimes found trapped within volcanic rock, sealed away for millions of years. In Japan and Iceland, researchers study eruptions to read the story of the Earth. In Hawaii, magma rises to the surface often, offering glimpses into the deep. Each discovery answers one question but raises many more. Why does magma move faster in some regions than others? What forces stir its endless flow? The mystery continues as scientists search for patterns in the restless heart of the Earth. Magma reminds us that so much remains unseen and unknown. If magma began to flow faster than we expect, landscapes could change in a single human lifetime. Mountains might rise where seas once stretched. Islands might sink into the ocean as new peaks are born. Plants and animals would face sudden transformation of their homes. Yet there is also wisdom in magma's slowness. It moves with patience beneath the crust. It reminds us that real change often begins out of sight. Energy gathers quietly before it becomes visible. The Earth shows us that power does not need to hurry. It works in cycles of creation and renewal. Magma teaches us to wait and to trust the hidden processes of time. Beneath stillness, life is always forming anew. Caves are formed when water seeps through limestone and slowly dissolves the rock. Over thousands of years, empty chambers take shape. Stalactites hang like frozen drops from the ceiling. Stalagmites rise from the ground like silent pillars. These forms grow as minerals deposit layer by layer. The process is patient and unhurried. A single drop of water carries tiny fragments that build sculptures over centuries. The erosion is gentle but constant. It carves corridors that stretch deep into the earth. Some caves extend for miles under mountains. They are records of time written in stone. Each layer tells of ancient rains and rivers that once passed. Science explains caves as natural results of water and rock in conversation. Yet what they create feels like art born from the slow breath of the planet. Some caves hold wonders that science still struggles to explain. In New Zealand, the Waitomo caves glow with tiny lights. Creatures dangle from the ceiling and shine like stars in the dark. In Vietnam, Son Doong opens like a hidden world with forests and clouds inside. In the United States, Carlsbad caverns reveal vast halls filled with stone curtains and delicate towers. Each cave is unique and full of mystery. Strange insects and blind fish live where no sunlight reaches. Their bodies have adapted to eternal night. Minerals sparkle in unexpected colors, as if holding hidden fire. Scientists study these ecosystems with awe. They wonder how life survives in such conditions. The caves keep their secrets close. They remind us that the Earth still holds many realms unseen. In their shadows lies the possibility of new discoveries and unknown truths. Exploring deeper into caves may reveal life forms never known before. New minerals may be found waiting in silence. Each journey could open windows into Earth's hidden story. Yet caves are not only scientific wonders, they are also places of stillness. Inside them, sound becomes soft and time feels slower. A cave offers a kind of shelter for the soul. It is a reminder of quiet patience. The formations within grew drop by drop across ages. They teach us to honor the long rhythms of the planet. In their silence, we sense the depth of time itself. The cave invites us to listen more gently and breathe in harmony with the earth. Beneath the surface, rocks and minerals take form over millions of years. Pressure builds as layers of Earth press downward. Heat from the core flows upward and transforms matter. Chemical reactions fuse elements into new shapes. Crystals begin to grow within cavities like secret gardens. Some shine with vivid color. Others remain hidden in dull stone until revealed by chance. Quartz forms in many varieties. Diamonds rise under intense heat and pressure before being lifted closer to the surface. Every mineral carries a story of time and transformation. The ground beneath our feet is alive with this slow creation. What seems solid is always changing. Rocks and minerals are quiet records of Earth's endless work. Some minerals glow when touched by light. Fluorite shines with strange radiance, as though holding a fragment of the stars. Quartz can form rare hues that shift with angle and shadow. In some caves and mountain ranges, rocks pile in layers that twist like ribbons. Their shapes seem impossible, yet they are natural expressions of pressure and heat. Scientists search for answers in their patterns. They study fractures and lines for clues of ancient movements. Yet some mysteries remain unsolved. Why do certain crystals appear only in a few places on Earth? How do their colors emerge with such precision? Across continents, discoveries surprise explorers again and again. From deep mines to mountain peaks, minerals hold secrets of the Earth's memory. They glow and whisper of hidden ages. We have only begun to understand. If the layers of rock and mineral were to shift, the balance of life would change as well. Water might flow in new directions. Ecosystems might rise or fall with the movement of stone. Resources we depend on could vanish or transform. This vision is both a warning and a teaching. Minerals remind us of time beyond human scale. They are like the breath of the earth made solid. Each crystal carries patience within its form. To look at them is to see centuries condensed into a single shape. The lesson is to slow down, to align with rhythms larger than ourselves. In the stillness of stone, we find a mirror for our own lives. The heat of the earth rises from its deep core. When groundwater touches rocks, warmed by magma, it becomes hot and rises again. This process creates hot springs and geothermal pools. The water often carries minerals dissolved from the rocks. As it emerges on the surface, it forms colorful terraces or steaming lakes. In some regions, steam escapes like a quiet breath from the ground. These places are not only beautiful, but also important for science. They reveal how energy moves from the Earth's interior. They also provide warmth that can be used by humans. Geothermal energy is one of the clean sources for the future. It shows how natural heat can be, both a wonder of nature and a gift for life. Some hot springs have existed for thousands of years. Their waters never cool completely, and their colors change with the minerals inside. In Iceland, geothermal pools glow against snowy fields. In New Zealand, the Waiotapu springs shine with strange hues of orange, green, and blue. In Japan, onsen baths have been part of culture for centuries. Life has also adapted in unusual ways. Certain bacteria thrive in boiling water, where most creatures would perish. They turn the springs into vivid mats of color. Scientists study them as keys to the origin of life. Perhaps early Earth looked like these steaming pools. The mystery remains how such organisms survive extreme heat. Each hot spring holds secrets of resilience and transformation. They remind us that the boundary between harshness and life is thinner than we think. If hot springs and geothermal systems were exploited too heavily, the natural balance might collapse. Water could dry faster than it refills. The delicate organisms living within might vanish. Yet when respected, these places continue to flow with warmth. To sit near a hot spring is to feel the earth breathing. The steam rises like a soft touch of hidden fire. It calms the body and invites reflection. The lesson is simple. Power lies within patience and harmony. The earth offers its energy gently and slowly. We are called to listen to that rhythm. In its warmth, we are reminded of the healing quiet that flows beneath the surface. Beneath the ground, water travels silently. Rain falls and seeps through layers of soil. It gathers into hidden streams and forms underground rivers or lakes. These waters move slowly, carving channels in stone. They nourish roots that reach deep into the earth. Springs appear on the surface where this hidden flow emerges. The cycle is steady and constant. Underground rivers are important sources of fresh water. They sustain plants, animals, and even human communities. Without them, many landscapes would turn dry. The science of hydrogeology studies these flows. It explains how the invisible water shapes the land and sustains life. What appears solid beneath our feet is, in truth, full of motion. Some underground rivers remain unexplored. Their passages twist in darkness for miles. In the Philippines, the Puerto Princesa underground river flows directly into the sea. Its water glimmers faintly in the dim light of caves. In the United States, Mammoth Cave shelters hidden streams that echo softly against stone. The sound of water there feels like a song from the earth itself. Sometimes, these waters glow with strange colors due to minerals or microorganisms. Scientists enter cautiously to study them. They measure currents and collect samples, yet many questions remain. How far do these rivers stretch? What secrets do they hold in their depths? The mystery lies in their silence. Each hidden flow is both a lifeline and a riddle. They remind us that even in the unseen, the earth continues to breathe and create. If underground rivers were to dry or shift, the surface would change as well. Plants might wither, and animals would lose their hidden supply. Communities depending on springs would struggle. Yet their presence reminds us of resilience. Water keeps moving even when unseen. It teaches us that life often flows quietly beneath the surface. We may not notice yet, it sustains everything above. Listening to the underground river is like hearing the hidden breath of the earth. It is slow, steady, and calm. The lesson is one of trust. Even when we cannot see it, the flow continues. In its patience, we learn to rest. Deep inside the earth lie vast chambers filled with magma. Their heat is immense and their pressure constant. These magma lakes are sources of volcanic power. When pressure builds too high, eruptions occur and new land is formed. The molten rock moves slowly, yet its influence is great. Mountains rise from its force. Valleys shift as it pushes upward. Scientists study these chambers through seismic waves. The vibrations reveal pockets of liquid fire beneath the crust. Though hidden, they are central to the Earth's rhythm. They store energy that can reshape landscapes. Their presence explains why the planet remains alive and dynamic. Without magma, the Earth would be silent stone. With it, the planet continues to grow and change. Some magma chambers erupt suddenly and form new islands. In Hawaii, molten lakes rise and spill into the sea. They create black rock that cools into fresh land. In Japan, fiery eruptions shape mountains that stand as symbols for centuries. In Iceland, glowing lava streams under ice and snow, creating scenes of striking contrast. These events reveal the mystery of balance. For long years, a chamber may stay silent. Then in an instant, it transforms the land. Scientists try to predict such changes, but certainty is rare. Hidden gases and shifting currents of molten rock are difficult to measure. Each chamber holds more unknown than known. They remind us that Earth is both powerful and unpredictable. The molten heart of the planet beats with a rhythm that is never fully revealed. If magma chambers moved faster or slower than expected, entire landscapes could be transformed. Cities might vanish, and new mountains might rise. Yet beyond danger lies a lesson. The hidden fire of the Earth is not only destructive, it also creates soil fertile for growth and islands where life can begin. Magma speaks of cycles of ending and renewal. It teaches patience with change. To sense it is to feel the deep heartbeat of the planet. Beneath our lives runs this ancient rhythm. The magma chamber whispers of hidden strength and quiet transformation. Its lesson is to face change, not with fear, but with trust in the larger flow. Beneath our feet lie secrets older than memory, the hidden fire, the silent stones, the deep roots of time. If you seek to explore these mysteries with peace in your heart, subscribe to Cosmic Sleep Science and return whenever you wish to listen again. Earth seen from space. From the view of satellites, Earth appears as a sphere of color. The deep blue of oceans, the bright white of clouds, the soft brown of continents. The planet seems alive, turning slowly under the silent sky. Satellites in low orbit circle again and again, recording images of weather and light. They capture the swirling of the atmosphere, the spread of forests, the melting of ice, and the endless motion of the seas. Each picture is a fragment of a breathing whole, a way for humans to study the climate, the currents, and the balance of life. From space, the planet has no borders, only shapes and colors blending into one living body. This sight reminds us of the unity of Earth, moving in rhythm, with the sun turning without pause, carrying every form of life upon its fragile surface. At night, the satellite sees another Earth, a world scattered with lights glowing across continents. Cities shine like constellations, connected by thin veins of brightness. The coastlines glitter, the rivers trace pale lines through the darkness. Yet there are places where no light appears. Wide deserts, deep forests, and oceans that remain in silence. These shadows are not empty. They hold mysteries that human eyes cannot fully reach. The contrast between radiant cities and hidden lands creates a map, both familiar and strange. Earth by night becomes a painting alive with fire and shadow, a reminder of progress and of what still lies unknown. From orbit, the planet glows softly, as if breathing with light and silence each heartbeat of civilization seen from the stars. If the satellites one day lost their signal, Earth would still move quietly in space. Oceans would still rise and fall. Clouds would still drift, and mountains would still cast their shadows. Humanity would stand again to look at the sky with bare eyes, searching for guidance in the stars. The planet would reveal itself, not through data, but through presence, reminding us that Earth is a living being. Not just an object to measure, the lesson flows gently across time. Cherish the fragile world. Protect its rhythm. Walk with awareness. Each turn of Earth is a gift, and each breath we take is shared with the life of the planet. From orbit, the oceans spread wide and endless, a vast sheet of blue, stretching across the curve of the Earth. White clouds drift slowly above, moving in swirls and soft arcs. The reflection of sunlight turns the surface into a mirror, alive with silver and gold. Satellites capture the constant pulse of the seas, the rise of tides, the rolling of waves. The clouds act as blankets, covering the world, shaping storms, shading lands, and guiding rain. Together, ocean and cloud form the breath of Earth, balancing heat, carrying moisture, feeding life. Every motion connects to another. Each cycle returns with calm repetition. From space, this dance of blue and white appears both fragile and eternal, a rhythm that sustains all living things below. There are moments when the ocean shows its hidden power. From space satellites, record vast spirals of storms forming across the water. Whirlpools rise, hurricanes twist, cyclones sweep the surface with strength unseen on land. The memory of storms like Katrina or typhoons in the Pacific appears as great white swirls spinning with slow majesty. Clouds gather into giant arms stretching across thousands of kilometers. The sight is both beautiful and unsettling, a painting of motion that speaks of energy beyond control. At times, strange cloud patterns emerge, shapes that resemble waves or circles no one can fully explain. They remind us that nature keeps its secrets even while showing its face. The ocean and the clouds together weave a mystery seen clearly, only from the silent watch of space. If the climate continues to change, the image from space will also transform. Oceans may shift, color storms may grow in size, clouds may cover in ways never seen before. From above, Earth would look different, and the message would be clear. Life on the surface would feel the effect with each wave, each breath of air. The lesson from this vision is simple. Pause and notice the flow of wind and water. Slow your breath as the planet breathes too. The sea and the clouds are not apart from us. They move within us as well. Look at them from space. Feel their rhythm and learn to live with patience and care. From high above, mountains rise like folded skin of the earth, their ridges sharp, their valleys deep. Sunlight casts long shadows across the slopes, turning peaks into lines of gold and silver. Deserts appear as wide stretches of ochre red and pale yellow, shifting with the winds and the heat. Satellites capture these contrasts with clarity, revealing how height and dryness shape the planet. Each peak is a record of slow uplift, each dune a story of drifting grains. Together, they form a map of resilience, a silent record of time. Across the curve of the earth, mountains and deserts join into a patchwork of color and texture, reminding us that the surface we walk on is alive, always changing, always breathing. There are mysteries hidden in these landscapes. From orbit, deserts appear smooth, yet they move with surprising speed. Dunes shift their shapes, season by season. Whole patterns rewritten by the winds. Mountains, too, are never still. Even the Himalaya rise a few centimeters each year, pushing higher into the sky. The Sahara glows with waves of sand stretching endlessly, while the Andes and the Rockies trace jagged lines across continents, some valleys remain in shadow, holding secrets of stone unseen from the ground. The shifting of land and sand creates an art only visible from the quiet eyes of space. Shapes bend, twist, and reform, as if the planet paints itself anew. The mystery lies in this movement so slow, yet so vast. The surface of Earth is not fixed. It is alive, and it whispers its changes in rhythms only space can reveal. If mountains rose more quickly or deserts spread faster, the world below would feel the change in every breath. Climate would shift, winds would alter, and life would adapt with struggle or grace. From space, we would see the transformation first as colors spreading, then as shapes reshaping. The lesson is clear: nothing is still, and nothing lasts forever. Yet in this motion, there is a beauty that calms. Watching Earth from above, we are reminded to soften our pace. Mountains and deserts show us the patience of time and the vastness of change. In their silence, they teach us to breathe slower, to rest within the flow of the planet. From space, the rhythm of seasons is painted across the surface of Earth. Fields turn from green to gold to brown. Mountains dress in snow, then shed it again. Rivers swell with rain, then thin with drought. Satellites watch these shifts with patient eyes, measuring temperature, humidity, and rainfall. With each orbit, they record the breathing of the planet, the cycle of warmth and cold. The tilt of Earth creates this dance, and the path around the sun keeps time. The image is vast yet simple, life responding to light and shadow. From above, we see not just land, but movement, the turning of forests, the retreat of ice, and the return of growth. The planet speaks through color, through water, through air, and from the quiet of space, the message is clear. Earth is alive, and its pulse is steady. There are places where the seasons do not follow the expected path. From orbit, the Arctic shows its snow melting earlier each year, a sign that the rhythm is changing. The Amazon breathes with rains that arrive late or vanish without warning. Trees shift their leaves sooner or hold them longer, and deserts spread when they should stay still. Satellites reveal these mysteries with glowing colors and shifting lines. The cycle seems familiar, yet surprises remain. Seasons are not fixed. They bend with climate and respond to forces unseen. The questions rise: why do rains fail? Why does ice vanish so quickly? These mysteries draw scientists closer, searching for answers hidden in clouds, soil, and ocean. The sight from space is both beautiful and troubling, a reminder that balance is fragile. The seasons are a story that the planet keeps writing, sometimes gently, sometimes with a sudden break in rhythm. If climate changes too quickly, the rhythm of seasons could stumble. Spring may fade too soon. Summer may stretch too long. Rains may not come at all. From space, the shift would appear as colors out of place, fields barren, where green should rise, snow absent, where white should gleam. The lesson is that balance is delicate and precious. The planet moves in cycles, but those cycles can falter. Watching from above, we learn humility. We are part of this rhythm, not its masters. The seasons ask us to slow our pace, to breathe in harmony with the earth, and to remember that the song of life depends on balance, steady and true. From above, the oceans reveal lines and swirls, currents of warm and cold water crossing vast distances. The Gulf Stream flows like a ribbon, bright against the darker sea, while deep currents carry nutrients unseen to the surface. These flows shape weather, feed storms, and guide the paths of whales and fish. Satellites trace them with infrared light, capturing the slow rivers within the sea. The oceans breathe through these movements, shifting heat from one hemisphere to another. From space, it becomes clear that the climate of continents depends on the secret pulse of the sea. The blue surface hides endless roads of water, each with its own direction, each with its own rhythm. Together, they form the heartbeat of the planet, moving slowly, steadily, without pause. Some currents twist into giant whirlpools that last for decades, spiraling in silence across the open ocean. From orbit, these eddies glow faintly with warmth or coolness, shifting color as they spin. Scientists watch them in wonder, their lifespans longer than storms, yet shorter than mountains. El Niño warms the Pacific and alters rain across continents. La Niña cools it and reshapes winds and weather. The Gulf Stream holds steady, yet sometimes falters, raising questions about its future. From space, the ocean looks calm, but beneath the surface, it is restless, the energy immense. The mystery lies in how these currents begin and why they last so long. They are whispers of the deep, carrying secrets no eye can see, except from the quiet patience of orbit. If the currents were to slow or stop, the climate would break its rhythm. Rainfall would shift, storms would grow harsher or fade, harvests would fail, and seas would warm or chill in strange ways. From space, the change would spread as altered colors and broken flows. The lesson is that the ocean is not separate from us. Its pulse is our own. Just as the heart keeps the body alive, the sea keeps Earth balanced. The currents remind us to respect the hidden forces that shape our days. They move in silence, yet their power is vast. Their flow tells us to breathe with patience and to honor the unseen. When night falls, Earth lights up with patterns of human life. Cities glow in clusters. Highways trace lines. Ships flicker on dark seas. From orbit, the planet shines with threads of gold and silver, marking where people live and move. Satellites capture these signals, mapping growth and change year by year. The light shows how far humanity has spread and how deeply it touches the planet. Yet there are still wide places where no glow appears. Forests, mountains, deserts, and oceans remain dark. Their silence balances the brightness, reminding us that not all of Earth is claimed by light. The contrast tells a story of connection and solitude, of progress and pause. It is the living pulse of Earth, shown not in daylight, but in the scattered fires of the night. There are regions where no lights appear, even in the modern age. The forests of the Amazon remain vast and dark, broken only by rivers. The tundra of Siberia sleeps in silence without a single spark. The wide north of Canada stretches in shadow, while the great deserts lie untouched. These dark zones are as mysterious as the glowing cities. They hide animals that know nothing of artificial light. They shelter skies filled with stars, untouched by haze or glare from space. These places look timeless. They remind us that not all rhythms are written by humans. Some belong only to the earth. The mystery is how long these dark sanctuaries will last, how long they will remain unbroken in a world that keeps reaching for more light. If artificial light spread to every corner of the globe, Earth would shine brighter from space, but something would be lost. The stars would fade behind the haze. The quiet sanctuaries would vanish, and night itself would grow thin. The lesson is not to cover darkness, but to respect it. Darkness is not emptiness. It is rest. It is balance. From space, the lights are beautiful, but the shadows are just as vital. They remind us to live in harmony, not excess, to keep the night for the earth and for ourselves is to honor the rhythm of life, both bright and still. From a distant orbit, the Earth appears as a pale blue dot within the vast family of the solar system. The sun glows at the center, sending out streams of light that touch each orbiting planet. Earth reflects this light gently, carrying oceans and clouds that shimmer like a jewel. The moon circles quietly around, a companion on the endless path. Scientists explain this harmony through gravity and the balance of motion, each orbit tied to another. From this perspective, Earth is not separate, but part of a larger rhythm. Its climate and life shaped by the distance from the sun and the tilt of its axis. Seen from space, the planet feels fragile, yet it holds the pulse of seasons and the warmth of living breath. Looking from afar, many atmospheric phenomena continue to surprise. The aurora shimmers across the poles like flowing curtains of green and violet, moving silently in the night sky. Enormous storms twist over the oceans, spirals of white cloud larger than entire continents. Rivers trace silver lines across the land, while deserts glow in subtle shades of red and gold. At times, mysterious glows appear above clouds, fleeting flashes that satellites barely capture. These sights remind us that Earth is more than a rock in space. It is a living world constantly reshaping its skin. The Arctic Circle flickers with light, the tropics breathe with rain, and mountain ranges hold clouds in their embrace. To scientists, these patterns are data, but to the eye, they are beauty and wonder. From this distance, mystery and knowledge blend together, creating awe and humility in equal measure. If Earth shifted its orbit even slightly, the delicate balance of life would be altered. Seasons might stretch longer or disappear. Oceans might freeze or boil. Forests might vanish. From space, the planet seems steady, but in truth, its stability is fragile. Watching it from afar, we understand how small it is, yet how alive it feels. This view encourages humility, a reminder that survival depends on harmony with forces greater than ourselves. Earth glows softly, not with power, but with resilience. To see it in the cosmic sea is to feel quiet gratitude, a gentle awareness that every breath and every season is possible only because this little world holds its place with perfect grace. Satellites observe the global rhythm of Earth as if listening to a heartbeat. Light flows from cities. Clouds drift across oceans. Forests expand and contract with the seasons. Ocean currents weave unseen paths, carrying warmth and nutrients across continents. Rivers swell with rain, then shrink in drought, while winds circle the globe in endless motion. From orbit, these changes appear connected. A vast system of pulses and flows. Scientists use instruments to track this balance, turning images into numbers that reveal patterns of life. To them, the world is data. Yet behind the graphs, there is music. The atmosphere breathes in and out. The seas rise and fall, and the land glows under sun and moon. The rhythm is steady, fragile, and deeply alive. Sometimes this rhythm reveals strange harmony across distant places. Rain may fall in Asia, while storms rise in South America, timed as if linked by invisible threads. Temperatures shift together across oceans. Cloud belts drift in parallel waves, and forests blossom or burn in unexpected unison. These synchronicities puzzle scientists who search for causes within the hidden engines of Earth. One year, El Niño warms the Pacific. Another year, La Niña cools it, and both ripple across the globe. Crops change yields. Rivers flood or dry. Lives are touched without warning. From orbit, this looks like a silent choreography. The planet moving all at once in a dance of air and water. To the eye, it is calm. To the mind, it is mysterious. To the heart, it is humbling. The rhythm holds secrets we still do not fully hear. If the global rhythm were to shift too far, life would need to change with it. Creatures might migrate. Crops might fail. Human settlements might rise or fall. From space, the patterns would alter. Rivers shrinking, deserts spreading, clouds forming new paths. Yet within the challenge lies adaptation. To watch the planet from orbit is to feel that Earth itself is a living being, not in metaphor, but in motion. Every current and season is like a breath. Every storm is like a heartbeat. This vision teaches respect, reminding us that survival comes through listening. The planet whispers its rhythm each day, and our task is to move in step with it, to honor its quiet but steady pulse. Images from Voyager, Hubble, and the International Space Station reveal Earth as a small yet shining jewel. From the blackness of space, its colors glow. Deep blue oceans, wrapped with swirling white clouds. Land appears in gentle tones of green and brown. Each continent outlined by light and shadow. The atmosphere glimmers as a thin line of protection, fragile yet vital. It shields the surface from radiation, keeps warmth inside, and carries the air that all living beings breathe. To scientists, these layers are chemical equations: oxygen and carbon, nitrogen and water vapor. Yet seen in one glance, they form a protective halo. Earth floats alone, balanced by gravity, glowing softly against the darkness. A world both delicate and strong. The planet reveals endless beauty when observed through time. By day, sunlight reflects across oceans like moving silver. By night, city lights shine, weaving bright threads across continents. Auroras dance at the poles, spreading green and violet arcs across the sky. Storms spin silently, their clouds towering higher than mountains. From space, these sights merge into one vast painting. The famous blue marble photograph captured Earth in fullness. Every curve of ocean and land wrapped in light. It is a symbol of unity. One sphere holding every life and every story. Looking at it can stir quiet emotion, as if we are seeing home for the first time. Beyond all science, there is wonder, a beauty that does not fade. The jewel remains luminous, no matter how often it is seen from the universe. Earth is both tiny and powerful. Tiny, because it is just one point among countless stars. Powerful, because it holds oceans, forests, skies, and the memory of life across ages. Every action leaves a mark. Every city light adds to the glow. Every tree adds to the breath of air. The jewel can dim, yet it can also shine brighter through care and balance. To look at Earth from afar is to feel responsibility. It is not just a home, it is a gift. The lesson is simple, though not easy. Live gently, live in harmony, and guard the fragile glow. For as long as it shines, the universe holds a living blue heart within its silent embrace. At the end of this quiet journey, we are reminded that Earth is not only our home, but also the greatest storyteller. Every mountain, every ocean, every breeze carries a memory and a lesson, whispered across time, holding us in its embrace. As you drift into sleep, remember that Earth continues to breathe. It continues to sing with its timeless rhythm. Gentle, steady, eternal. May that song guide you into rest. May it soften the edges of thought and carry you into peace. If you wish to wander further through the wonders of space and time, let your path return to cosmic sleep science and subscribe so that each night you may journey again with us.